So yes, we've just come up to Glenbrook National Park here in the Blue Mountains, and the view's bloody beautiful up here. And I deliberately brought Anne up here just because when you see this view, it's worth the trip. You can drive in the Glenbrook National Park. If you haven't got a membership, then there is a fee, entry fee, if you're bringing your car in or your motorbike, for example. But still, there's some beautiful scenery here in this national park, and there is camping grounds here as well. We might do a quick drive through them, but here's the first place which I want you to see, and this is really beautiful. Unfortunately, they're doing a bit of construction here at the moment at the lookout point, so they've actually blocked it all off, so it says warning, don't go. You can go through here, but they're saying warning, abseilers only beyond this gate. That means people that are climbing cliffs basically, and because it is quite dangerous out there. You walk out, some silly people would walk out to the edge there trying to get their Instagram shots, but I can tell you that's a big fall if you slip or look in the wrong direction. And but the Nepean River there, beautiful. I've gone up and down that in a boat before. I've also done some kayaking along there as well, which is very relaxing. You can do a bit of fishing in there if you have the right licenses, and it is a spectacular view up here. So this is just an example of one of the campsites here. You do have those little fire pits over here that you can see, where you can actually have a little bit of a campfire. And you got these sort of seating areas here that you can use as well. And yep, you got toilets up the top there. I always say bring your own toilet paper just in case. But yes, and again, bring your own firewood. But they're actually got, each one of these campsites have actually got names to them. Again, there's a walking track up there. Some people bring their mountain bikes and they come for a ride. And here we go, Bennett Ridge campsite. So when you're booking online, you're going to be booking an actual location. And so each campsite has its sort of name to it. So this area is Euroka Clearing. And Euroka Clearing here, you've got like toilet facilities here. You've got picnic areas where you can sit. There's nice grass areas here where you can lay out blankets if you want to sit on the ground. They've got massive amounts of green areas all the way through here where you can book specific campsites to come here on weekends. And there is walking trails that take you down to Nepean River from here. And there's a multitude of wildlife you see here. Sometimes you're seeing things like goannas, echidnas, a variety of lizards, lots of birds. One thing I'm just going to tell you here is watch out for the kookaburras, because if you're cooking your barbecue up in the mornings or during the day, the kookaburras like to try and steal it straight off the stove here. So just be a little bit careful of those little buggers. And but yeah, you got garbage bins here. And just a tip, yes. So we've just come up to Nepean Lookout here in Glenbrook National Park, and we're going to go for a bit of a walk. So it's about 500 metres in, and it's all dirt road driving in here. Basically up to Euroka Clearing area, it's tarred road, and then it just turns into dirt. The road's a little bit rough driving in here, but still it's okay. You can do it. But okay, off we go. Let's go for a walk. This is a beautiful 500 metre walk in here, and the lookout's worth it, but just be careful if you've got kids and keep them away from the edges of this lookout, because it is quite steep when you go down it. Well, we're not going to go down the lookout because that takes you down to Nepean River, and I don't exactly want to climb back up, though some people do. And I've been down the bottom of the area of this lookout with a boat before, and but yeah, I love the lookout here. Really beautiful. It's funny, growing up, Dad used to tell stories to scare people. And I think a lot of Australians have had this story, the story of the drop bears, the bears that hide in the trees, and when you're walking through the bush, they're just going to jump out and attack you from the top of the trees. But I remember my dad was telling me a story about these, I think he was doing training with American soldiers or something, and he was telling them a story about these drop bears that allegedly existed in the trees, and that they would jump down and attack you. I think he had a few of the Americans actually believing him at the time. But yeah, no, there's no vicious bears that drop out of the trees here. But I'm sure there's a few different legends. And if any of you Aussies know any sort of legends of creatures that are supposed to be in the Australian forests, then yeah, share those stories online just for a bit of fun. And all that folklore stuff is always pretty interesting. But let's keep walking. So here's the reason we come up here, just to see this view. So this is Nepean Lookout. And yeah, a lot of people do also drive their boats up here and do a bit of fishing, or even just exploring and relaxing on the water. It's really nice as well. But yeah, just be really careful on these edges. If you've got kids, there's no fencing here, and that's a very steep fall. Chances are you'll either be badly injured or killed if you go off that edge. Just look at how beautiful it is up here. Can you imagine though having this house? There's a house there across the other side. The view you would get from up on that house there would be worth a bit of money. The only scary thing would be if you're living there during bushfires, because they can get pretty wild when they come up these mountains. But as a kid, I have a memory of parking the boat down here on the corner, and we're just walking up and down this creek. But I also took another walk which went down into that valley and walked down to here as well. And I just remember the water being crystal clear, but who knows now, that was over 30 years ago, if not more, that I had that memory walking along here.